I only wanted to help. I only wanted to help. I only wanted to help.
I told you to stay away.
Please.
I told you to stay away!
Hey gaming comrades, are you ready for some video game adaptations?
I'm ready.
I know I wasn't, but Arcane came around and suddenly The Witcher is not the best Netflix show based on a video game series anymore. So today, I'll tell you some stuff about Arcane League of Legends. Stay tuned until the end of the video and don't forget to click that like button, subscribe and double kill that notification bell.
If you're done beating yourselves up, let's get this home.
Arcane is without a doubt one of the most pleasant surprises of the year. Not only is the animation style of Netflix's hit show one of the most beautiful we've ever seen in a series, but the first League of Legends non-gaming media might as well be the best video game adaptation ever made. The reason is that Arcane is not so concerned with selling the game it draws inspiration from, instead telling a touching story about love, war and family that can hook even those who've never played League of Legends before. But hey, not everything is perfect though. It's just that Season 1 only has 9 episodes, and I need more seasons right now. Fans are still digesting the gut-wrenching finale and hoping that Riot Games has some clever hex tech of their own to speed up the production of Season 2. So, since I've already had the time to binge through the show 3 times in a row, it's time we discuss all the Easter eggs and references you probably missed. The show explores the vast world of Runeterra, with a deep look into Piltover and Zaun. They featured many champions from League and others are hinted to have passed through the two cities.
You mean Jinx? She works for him.
Right from the start of Arcane, Riot has hidden various Easter eggs for League fans to find. Here's what I noticed during the series, listed in the order of their appearance. The first episode begins with Vi and the other kids trying to rob someone's house in Piltover. We later discover that it's Jace's laboratory and that Caitlyn frequently visits him since their friends and her family support the young inventor. But for League fans, Riot left a small detail that hints at Caitlyn's involvement, right in the building next to the one Vi and the others are robbing. When Vi jumps down from the roof onto the balcony of the building, we can't help but notice that there are some cupcakes left on the terrace. Those tasty treats are the same ones Caitlyn uses in her Yordle snap trap, her double your ability in League. After returning to Zaun, the kids are approached by a band of hooligans. A fight begins and Powder is forced to flee with the loot from the group's heist. She heads towards the dock where she finds a blind spot to hide around the corner of one of the buildings near the river. On the wall on the side of the building, we spotted Teemo's mushrooms in the form of graffiti as well as Pentakill's logo, partially covered by one of the poisonous Noxious traps. Further on in the episode, Powder, Vi and the others descend into the depths of Zaun thanks to a lift in an abandoned house. While Milo complains to Vi about Powder's behavior on that day, League fans can find interesting artwork on the right side wall of the old and empty house. A gentleman is portrayed in a dusty picture. More precisely, a picture of Gentleman Cho'Gath is seen hanging on the wall of the house. Viewers are then transported into the streets of Zaun, which are inhabited by charming Yordles and people of all sorts. When walking towards the bar called The Last Drop, the kids walk past a trafficker of curiosities. And sure enough, in his possessions, League players can recognize 2 famous in-game assets, one of which was previously mentioned. The trafficker deals in Teemo's mushrooms and a poor imprisoned Krug. Later in the episode, we enter a gold mine of Easter eggs. When Vander goes to Benzo's shop, we can spot various items from League, starting with Trendemir's helmet right above the door of the shop. Then in Benzo's hands, we see the Heart of Gold. Shaped like a turtle shell, the Heart of Gold was an in-game item that generated 5 gold every 10 seconds. Only League veterans would have the chance to spot it since it was removed from the game in 2012. Also in Benzo's shop on the wall in the back room, there are 2 quite recognizable but hidden objects. Okay, the first one may not be so hidden. On a shelf on the wall, we see Rabadon's death cap with a price tag and everything. That's just what a young magician from Zaun would need. The other League item in the shop is truly a hidden treasure. Next to the 3 masks seen on the shelf when Echo eavesdrops on the conversation between Vander and Grayson, there is what seems to be an Eye of the Ascension. Removed from the game back in 2019, the item granted movement speed, CR and among other statistics, a unique passive that conceded extra gold in certain situations. Arcane's first episode was full of Easter eggs for League fans to spot, but the 2 remaining episodes from the first act focused more on what's going on in the story and featured fewer hidden gems. Be that as it may, during the scene in the arcade in the second episode, Powder plays with a Teemo-inspired gaming booth, just a few moments before the Enforcer enters the house. Moving on with the story, Arcane dives deeper into the choices, psychology and growth of the 2 main characters, Powder and Violet, and even the Easter eggs are linked to their future selves. In particular in episode 3, we see Jinx's Star Guardian wings drawn on Powder's toy box in her room. In the same scene when Vi leaves Powder in their room to go and save Vander, we see Powder's drawings on the ground, and upon closer inspection we can see fish bones, one of Jinx's weapons. The first Easter egg of Act 2 of Arcane is almost at the beginning of Episode 4. When Silco's henchmen are loading the Shimmer onto the airship, we can briefly see the hand, barrel and silhouette of Gargus drawn on the containers. In the same episode, when Savika returns to Silco to tell him what happened on the airship, we get to see different scenes from Zorn. Among those, for a brief moment, League fans can see a tattoo shop in which the artist is drawing a Pentakill logo on someone's back. Pentakill is a fictional heavy power metal band created in 2014 in the Riot Game Studios in Santa Monica. They were created to promote new skin releases in the hit PC MOBA, and their lyrical themes are about items in the game. Later in Episode 4, we are shown Jinx's hideout, where she experiments and hangs out with her quote-unquote friends. Look closer, there's a wooden horse right next on the sofa. It resembles a rhino, the same one she's riding in the Get Jinxed music video. Then, Silco comes to visit Jinx in her laboratory, and she shows him the Hextech gem she's stolen. She hands the gem to Silco and then proceeds to wish him Happy Progress Day, setting off some fireworks while swinging from a small carousel with horses. A similar horse is seen in Episode 1 in Jace's laboratory. In Episode 5, we see Vi bringing Caitlyn to a brothel to ask for information about the whereabouts of Silco, his henchman and Powder. When the two enter the main hall, we see several rooms with different people in them. Two unknown characters are wearing masks that League fans will find familiar. More precisely, they're wearing masks with Kindred's symbol on them. Kindred are Runeterra's most common spirit god that embody death, although they are not the only ones. They usually don't kill actively, but rather appear to those who die naturally, except for a few circumstances like in All Kindred Eve. They also can prevent death if they want to. We then jump right into the 6th episode of the series. More specifically, we head into the scene where Silco gets into Marcus's room, visiting the Enforcer's daughter. One of Silco's henchmen in the room is seen reading a small red book full of Teemo tales, with many illustrations of the little Yordle in it. In the last scenes of Act 2, we see the unconscious Vi being dragged away by the Firelighters, and a wounded Jinx screaming her heart out. Fast forward to Episode 7, and Jinx manages to go back to her laboratory to mend her wounds and collect her thoughts. While she walks towards her desk, we see a bathtub in her hideout, apparently lying around unused. That could be a reference to Jinx's music video, Get Jinxed, in which the loose cannon is seen taking a bath with bullets. In Act 3, we're also introduced to the Firelight hideout, where the masked vigilantes brought Vi and Caitlyn. The center of their lair is an enormous tree growing in the Undercity slums, and all around it are small homes, shacks, and various items laying around. Among those items, League fans can spot the skull of a bird, resembling the one Xayah and Rakan used to adorn their outfits. On the giant tree, Echo and the Firelighters have painted all the faces of those who they've lost, including Benzo, Vander, Vi, and Powder. Below the mural, there are various items left as memorials of the lost ones, including pictures, drawings, candles, and a Teemo plushie. At the beginning of Episode 8, we see a flashback of Mel's childhood, when she was still with her Noxian family. The Counselor is apparently accompanying a Noxian brigade in Ionia, where they seem to have just won a battle. In the flashback, young Mel is wearing a dress decorated in a pattern that resembles the one on Leona's armor and shield, somehow linking one of Piltover's counselors to the Targon Solari tribe. The Solari are an ancient organization and religious order, whose task is to venerate the aspect of the sun of Mount Targon. In the last episode of Arcane's first season, there is another big reveal in the final scenes. When Jinx fires her rocket, we see what all the champions in Arcane are up to. We get a glimpse of Singed's lab, where there is someone hanging from the ceiling with tubes of chemicals attached to him. The left quote-unquote hand of the person in the Mad Chemist's lab might look familiar to League players. Razor-sharp claws and green chemicals could indicate that the unfortunate person, who could be Vander, is going to be transformed to none other than Warwick. Riot has already announced Season 2 of Arcane, but unfortunately we'll have to wait until 2023 to find out how our favorite League champions will react to the explosive finale. Yeah, all puns intended. Did I miss some Easter eggs? I probably did. Share your thoughts with us in the comments below. And as always, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and pentakill that notification bell. Peace out!